Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers, the only Smash Brothers podcast where one of its hosts is obsessed with Chucky Finster. I'm not that host. I'm Zantok, otherwise known as Lister. Sometimes we forget to intro ourselves at the top of the episodes. And the one obsessed with Chucky is one who's shoving a Chucky Finster Funko Pop into the fucking camera right now. Jonno, otherwise known as Jonathan, otherwise known as J Noodles, John, stop. No, please, God. Just ad infinitum more of that. He is the
Hey,
eternal
hey,
tormentor of the
Zantok.
world.
I
Oh,
got your
no.
fudgy dingaling bar right here.
Oh, God, no. No. We're moving on from this bit.
Let's go play with
This
Boppo.
is a Smashtopia episode. I am not feeding to this bit. We're going to be making a
But you did
moveset
buy this for
today.
me, so thank you.
Did I?
Yes.
When?
Yes, you did. A couple years ago.
Did I have you for Secret Santa?
Yes.
That explains. That's the only reason I would have done that. Jesus Christ.
And every time we go on this tangent, either about hating Chucky or hating Funko Pops, I think back to the irony
Wait, hold
of
on.
this.
Hold on. Back up. I hate Funko Pops. This is true. I don't remember ever saying I hate Chucky. I just want you to get new material.
Oh, good. Well, they have some recommendations for new material on the back of this box.
Who's the... Oh, okay. I could not tell that was Tommy at first. To be
Tommy
fair,
looks
it's
pretty
yeah.
bad.
Tommy is an example of why I hate Funko Pops, because ones are just like the blank, normal looking faces. There's no real frills or anything. It's just like the big old empty, soulless eyes. Funkos are creepy. The Chucky one's not bad.
At least
The
this is okay.
Yeah, the
This
Chucky
is
one
okay.
is well done, because there's actually details to Chucky's face, and he's got the big glasses in the hair.
Right.
But like a regular person, like if like a Han Solo or something having a Funko's like, no, get away, fucking creepy as shit.
I need more Rada the Hutt Funko Pops.
Well, rumor is Rada's going to be in one of the upcoming movies, so...
Oh, good. Thank God. Fantasies come to life
as
day.
a gladiator.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I have no idea if this is true or not, or if the official information came through, or it's just like weird rumors. I just saw the other day that he was going to be a gladiator and he was going to have to be rescued. Like, okay.
Oh my
God. Not gonna lie, I want this to be true because I want to see a Hutt with a fucking sword and shield and a gladiator pick. That sounds fucking amazing.
Yes, I would also like to see this.
Who knows when it'll happen if it's true, but we'll see. Anyways, though, this is a Smashtopia episode. We've got a character we're making a moveset for here today. Their name is in the title. You already know what's happening. But what you don't know is what we're going to be doing a showcase of here today. Now, we're not together in Tucson anymore. We've got our normal setup here, so there's no funky camera shenanigans. And there's no Flame Zone to join us either. It's back to the usual. And the usual
Hooray, no Flame Zone
microphone. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, let's get things started here. Jonno, why don't you go ahead and give us your first showcase first?
Okay. My first showcase is not Chucky Finster. He's had enough of the spotlight today. It's an igloo, though, which is loosely related to Chucky. It's the igloo turtle.
Oh.
From Okami.
This looks like the Baba Yaga's hut.
Kind of, sort of, like with most of the enemies, or maybe all of them. I don't know. In Okami, it's based off of Japanese folklore. It's a chimera class enemy. It's from the north. You fight them in snowy regions, and it's woof, waking up. So it lures people in with the illusion of warmth within the igloo. But actually, inside of that igloo, which is a glass dome, is a little boy a snow boy, if you will. So it's a little demon inside of this thing. So the turtle itself is the snow boy's mech, if you will. So as you fight this enemy in the world of Smashtopia, it remains seated at first. Its legs are crumpled to the ground. That it just kind of makes it look like kind of like a actual like snow globe or igloo. But as you approach it, it eventually stands up and starts stalking towards you, kind of like in a lion-esque way, before it runs after you and jumps at you, and you have to fight it. If you hit it hard enough, the glass shell will shatter, and the snowboy inside will fall out and start to run away from you. At this point, you have to chase the snowboy down and knock him out to defeat the enemy. It has a couple of attacks. It can swipe its tail in a forward arc and spike with the tip of its tail if it makes contact with you. Or it can use Ice Breath, where it huffs in and just unleashes an icy breath throughout the area in a snowy affront, several yards in front of it. And the closer to the icy you are when you hit, the likelier of a chance that it will freeze you. It's kind of like a mid-class, medium hitting enemy that looks weird, and hooray.
Okay. Also, while you went through
Yes.
that, I looked up to see like what this thing was based off of. It's not based on Baba Yaga because first of all, Baba Yaga is Slavic, but it is
Mm-hmm.
instead apparently the creature inside is based on 3 different demons all rolled up in one.
Interesting.
Yukinko, which is the son of Yuki Onna, which is the Snow Woman, that like Frost Slash is also based off of Amara Furikozo, or however the fuck I butchered that. And then the last one, they're not sure. They're either thinking it's Karakasa or Kasa Obake, which are apparently both similar things. Possessed umbrellas with
Nice.
a single foot, which is
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
Why is the
Common enemies
umbrella
in
possessed?
Goemon.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well then, that's the
Yes.
igloo turtle.
Well.
For my first showcase today, I have a stage. Now, Jonno, you know, and I believe I've talked about it before on this podcast, that I've been doing my 100 new stages for the next Smash blog series on the Smashtopia wiki. Unfortunately, it's not very visible on the Smashtopia wiki because they don't like advertise blog posts. You have to like know where the link is or like go to my profile and then go to blog to find it. It's really hidden. It's
Yeah.
I wish there was a better way. Um, but I recently made a stage for one of the ones on there. I felt like making a stage. I was looking through the ones I had mentioned. It's like, what do I feel like I most want to make first? And the answer was the Great Pastoria Marsh from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Or it's really just called the Pastoria Marsh. Or no, it's called the Great Marsh actually in game. But Great
Mhm.
Marsh sounds kind of lame. Great Pastoria Marsh sounds way better. And
Yeah.
it's next door to Pastoria City, so it works.
Yeah.
So this stage,
Oh,
do what?
nothing. That's just
Oh,
I'm looking up the wiki thing to read along with you.
oh, I think I know what you reacted to. It was
Hmm.
unintentional. Let me make that clear. Uh, so the Great Pastoria Marsh is the Safari Zone equivalent for the Sinnoh region, and I've got the layout image of it right here. So this stage is basically divided into 2 halves. Uh, there are floating platforms on the left and right sides. It's a granite stage, and there's like some mud pits down on the bottom that you can't really see at first, but you'll know when you're in them, and we'll get to that in a bit. But right in the middle of the stage is the big old train, the tram system that works throughout the marsh, and it's how trainers get around from area to area so that they don't have to walk all the way since they only have a limited amount of steps each session. Use the train to get rid of that. But the train is right there. It's a big, solid obstacle, kind of like the middle of the ship on the Venom stage. There's a similarity to that. You got to jump over the wings in order to get to each side. The train starts out at the stage, but it will leave after some time. But right next to the stage, or right next to the train, there's like a little platform that people would get onto to get on the train, just to break up the middle of the stage even more and have like if you throw a green shell, it's not going to go all the way across, even if the train was gone. Got to be a little bit more careful with that. You'll also be able to see like Pokemon in the background of the stage watching the fight that are that can be found in the Great Marsh, such as Tangela, Wooper, Carnivine, and whatnot. The train, though, as mentioned, it will leave from time to time. There will be like a siren ringing out, and then its lights will flash. That'll warn the player, or not really warn the players. That'll let the players know that hey, train is leaving the station. And once that's done, it'll go back away to some other area of the marsh, but you'll be able to see it like way back in the background. It'll still be visible, just it will now be gone. And now you have that whole empty space. You can go easily across from each side of the stage to the other. You do not have to jump and fly over the train to the other side and chase people down. But the train won't stay away forever. Once again, when the train is ready to come back, you hear the siren, you'll see its flashing lights, and the train will start coming back into the foreground of the stage. Here's the problem with that. What do you think happens if you're in the train's way, Jonno?
You get hit by the train.
Correct. And trains hit
Whoa!
hard, right? You don't want to get hit by a train. That sounds like a bad day.
Yeah.
In fact, it's so much of a bad day that if you are in the train's path and you already have 100% damage or more on your character, you're dead. You get knocked into the screen just like the result of Bowser's Giga Bowser Punch. You smack against the screen, it cracks, and then you slide off dead.
Whoa!
The me of several years ago may not have created an effect like this on a stage that results in an insta-death, but you know what? We live in the time of the ultimate chimera and the danger zones on what's the place called? The Great Maze of Bullshit. Great Keep Offensive. That one.
Yeah.
It's a bad stage. We all know it. It's true. But I figured, you know what? The stage gives you a clear warning that the train is coming, and if you're there at that time, that's your fucking fault. Get out of the train's way. The second thing to mention with the stage is the deep mud. It's really annoying. In Gen 4, the mud in the Pastoria region and in the Great Marsh itself, you step in it and then you kind of just sink in. You gotta rotate your control stick a bunch in order to get out and keep going, and then, you fell into another pit of mud. Good job, kid. For this stage, it works a bit different than that. You're not going to get like completely stuck. That said, it's still not recommended because when you are standing in the mud, your movement speed and jumping capabilities will be severely slashed. So you're kind of a sitting duck. How do you get out of it? Slowly walk forwards or try and jump out, or use your up special. That's really the best way to do it, unless you're Yoshi or Jigglypuff, in which case get fucked. Because you don't have enough special recovery move. Go fuck yourselves. When you are standing in the mud, you will be able to see the entire size and position of that mud patch. Once you're out of it, no one will be able to see it again. It's only visible to all players when somebody is inside of it. That way you know how far you need to go to get out of the mud. And each time you play, the mud patches could be like in slightly shifted locations. They're not going to ever cover like the full ground of the stage because that'd be fucking insane. But that way, you can't just memorize their positions.
Excellent.
But that's the Great
Well
Marsh.
thought out.
Yeah.
And it's great indeed. I love the stage layout. Good work on the drawing for it. It brings it to life. And I was getting memory flashbacks, bad memories of the mud that I thought I'd long forgotten.
You're welcome. What's the next Pokemon bad memory I could bring back for you?
When my house burnt down and the van blew up with my Game Boy inside, and Pelipper that I named Pelly died in the van.
So you want me to make a stage based on when you moved to Little Root Town at the beginning of Pokemon Gen 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that is the Great Story Marsh. Jonno, what is your second showcase?
You like clouds?
I I guess. I mean, Cloud Strife is all right. He's a bit of a dick at times, but when your brain is made of cheese, he's had a
You like
bad
candy?
life. Yeah.
Ah, very good. What are those? Sour Patch Kids?
No, they are basically gummy watermelon.
Oh, nice. Okay. I present to you
Mm,
Cloud and Candy.
okay.
That's
Why?
right. It's Cloud Strife literally inside of your candy bag.
My Cloud Amiibo is not currently at my desk, so I can't do a bit.
That's too bad. But Cloud and Candy persists anyway. From a Yoshi game. It's
Here you go,
definitely a
Noah.
Yoshi game.
That's the guy, is Noah.
That's what they call close enough. Noah's had a pretty fucked up life too. Like maybe like 20 to 30 lives in a row, in fact.
I don't think we know how
Um
many cycles they've been through in that game.
no. No, we don't. It's interesting to think about. Um so yes, Cloud and Candy. A boss from Yoshi's Story that is a
Fucking.
cloud that you defeat in Yoshi's Story by eating it. You just kind of repetitiously lick off portions of the cloud and eat it, and it becomes smaller and smaller until it disappears.
I mean, considering how the gameplay
So
in the Yoshi games goes, that actually makes sense.
yeah, so that's kind of the nature of what we're dealing with here. And again, like Cloud and Candy, this is an assist trophy, by the way. So
Oh,
it appears it's as tall as two Bowsers. So
that's
pretty
big.
big. Pretty, yeah, like really big. And it just sluggishly kind of, barely is able to jump from place to place. And it damages opponents pretty well in this form. Like it's really huge. So it can ground opponents, it can knock them around pretty good. But the more you hit this assist trophy, you break off pieces of its body, it disappears, and it produces portions of the cloud fall off, and you can eat it like food to heal yourself.
I hate this.
Yes. So as she becomes smaller, she becomes quicker, and so like it becomes faster and harder to hit. Just eventually, just jumps everywhere, kind of like a fuzzy does. And she eventually becomes the size of a mite from the Subspace Emissary, the key creature thing.
Yeah.
Um, and if you're playing as someone like Kirby or Yoshi, you can reenact that boss battle and just eat Cloud and Candy. So
Wait, hold on. How can
Cloud and
how can
Candy,
Kirby
yeah,
recreate that? He doesn't
yeah.
have a
Oh,
licking
just
attack. He's just
you could, yeah. I mean, you could swallow it. I meant Yoshi could
how?
recreate it.
How
Yeah.
can Kirby do that in Smash?
Suck the cloud.
Kirby can't inhale assist trophies.
This one can be damaged in the same way an enemy can.
Okay.
Yes. um.
That means Day to Day
So
can
yes,
too.
yes, and Wario
Yeah.
in a way.
I can't remember if we've made any other characters that can do something like that. I don't think we have.
Something to strive for, maybe.
Because you're not interested in doing it, I don't want to. Anyways.
I already know the character I'll do it for.
No.
Yeah, don't
Anyways.
worry, you'll know soon enough. You'll find out.
Cloud and Candy.
Yeah, that was that.
Oh, that,
That
that was
was it.
everything? I thought there was more.
No, that was it.
Oh,
Basically, just yeah.
okay. Disturbed. What's new?
Yeah, yeah, good.
That
Let's see how
said,
disturbing this moveset can be.
Jonno, do you want to get weird?
Always.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who am I talking to? Of course, you'll say you want to get weird. I want to talk to you about an item that comes out of Final Fantasy XIV. And what I was thinking about new items I wanted to make recently, I was just like, man, I don't. What's something. I wasn't even that. I was trying to think like, okay, what's a game I've been playing recently? Because I feel like doing something that's just newish. Like, well, I've been playing a lot of Metaphor.
Jackbox.
Nothing from Metaphor really came to mind. I started playing Final Fantasy 16. I'm barely in, so nothing comes to mind. I considered doing a Dragon Quest item, but then I did something else Dragon Quest. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Because I was actually thinking about doing that one today, but we're not doing that. But I was thinking, well, I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Is there any unique items of that are in other Final Fantasies that I can do? Like, not like a potion or an ether or what the fuck? Or, although I do have an idea for a Phoenix Down. I have an idea for that. But what I decided to do is an item that just about any player in Final Fantasy 14 should know. So long as you beat in a Roman Born, you are going to know this item, and that's the Fantasia. Now, John, for your knowledge, Fantasias are a potion, a very special potion. In fact, you could say that they are the most special potion in all of Final Fantasy. They are the most valuable in all of Final Fantasy 14. So valuable, in fact, that they cost $10 a bottle, or 28 for 3, or 45 for 5. But what do they do? Shauna, have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered, man, I wish I could wake up tomorrow and look completely different?
The days that I wish I were you, yes.
And this conversation got weird. Anyways, Fantasias. When you drink one, the next time you log into the game, you will return to the character creation screen. And you can recustomize your character, changing facial features, changing voice, hairstyle, skin tone, makeup, tattoos, gender, race. Everything can be changed all over again. And some people in this game are fucking addicted. They buy Fantasias out the fucking ass and change the character every couple months, if not more often. And I'm just like, guys, the game has given me 3 freebies. 3? 4 freebies? And I have not used a single one. They're all sitting in my inventory. So hearing all this, how the fuck do you make this work in Smash? This sounds impossible, right? The only way to do it would be to have it change your character. But that's crazy. That the resources that would take on the game would be insane. The game would have to load what every character's design and moveset is before every match, and that's just too much loading power. That it'd take forever. Well, we're imagining the future, and maybe we have a console 50, 100 years in the future, and they can just do that now. So yeah, this is how the item's going to work. You're gonna pick it up, and your character's going to immediately drink it, and then you'll get surrounded by sparkles and particle effects, and then poof, your Greninja could now be Phantom R. Your Ness could be Squall Leonhardt. Your Olimar could be the giant squid. In an instant, your character is changed, given a random alternate costume into a random character that you have no choice over whatsoever. The possibilities are only as limited as the amount of characters on the roster.
Oh, buddy.
Now there is one quick rule on this, or I guess two quick rules. First of all, any status changes or like status conditions that were applied to your character, so like if you had stronger attack strength from like Shulk's Monado arts, or if you had been affected by a poison mushroom, then anything you had on you will be wiped out upon drinking the Fantasia. That way you can't give somebody some kind of a boost and then go into a different character that should not possibly be able to have that boost. So all has to get wiped clean. The other rule is that the Fantasias are hard-coded to be the rarest item that can appear in the game, and will even have a limited drop. Even if you set your item settings to very high and Fantasias only, they will still be incredibly rare. And that's that. That's the Fantasia.
Wow. Very good. Interesting. Giant squid mentioned. What more could you want?
Well, I mentioned one of my characters, I mentioned one of Kelly's characters, I had to mention one of yours, and I thought Giant Squid would be the funniest in this context.
Very true. And you were correct. Your mind has not deceived you yet.
When would it?
Well, cool. Okay. I guess on to our next showcases.
Of all my actual video game content things that I've ever made on Smashtopia, I think the Fantasia itself is just the single most unlikely thing to ever become real in Smash. The Trapper has better odds of being playable than the Fantasia has of being an item.
It's true.
Wrap your mind around that.
Like a giant squid's tentacles. No, I wonder where that would land. In the
Giant
percentages.
Squid has better odds of being playable in Smash than the Fantasia has of being an item. I'll fucking say it. This item is impossible because it will, like, they already had problems like in where like they had to load all the like going into like in Brawl. The reason why it takes so long to transform from Zelda into Sheik and whatnot, so they had to have Sheik loaded and ready to go, even though you're only playing as Zelda to start. This item would require them to load every single character before the match begins. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But I thought about the
Oh,
idea and it was funny to me and I wanted to do it.
Yep. That's great. That's cool. One of several things that you made recently.
Yes, yeah. While I was on the trip up in Phoenix, in Tucson, I made at least one of each category of submissions except for event matches, because event matches are dead. There wasn't really a point. They've been replaced with spirit battles. I was like, I had the time. I don't have distractions of other things I would do. Let's get some Smashtopia stuff done because I haven't worked on it in 5-6 months. Let's make a few things.
And make you did.
Indeed,
including
I did.
Fantasia and Great Pastoria Marsh. Very good.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, I think it's time to go ahead and get into our Smashtopia character of the day.
Oh, what about our next showcase?
That was all of them.
Oh, well, I'll just save it for next time then.
Wait. No. Because you already did yours. You did too.
Oh, I did. That's right. What the
Yeah.
hell was I thinking?
I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh, well, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll save it for next time. Yeah, my next one, he was a soldier and
No!
was ready.
We're talking about Ashley from the WarioWare games.
I know that girl.
Oh yeah? Does she brew the meanest potions and cast the whatever the spells are? Fuck, I forgot the lyrics.
I thought her, and her
Darker
dad
spells.
went missing on an island.
That's Lily
She
from
went off
Pokemon
to
Sun and
find
Moon.
Blood Edward Island.
What the fuck? If you were talking about the game that we were talking about before podcast and you're giving me any fucking spoilers, I'm gonna fly back to Arizona and snap your neck. Yeah, I told you I want to play that game. Shut the fuck up.
That wasn't a spoiler. It's just on the box.
I don't care. I don't know anything about that game. Literally anything besides who the main character is. Shut up.
Who's the main character? Fuck.
I'm not talking about
it. Good times.
No.
Yes, from the mansion. The one that talks.
She makes spells and potions. She's like a kindergartner or whatever the hell her age is. She goes to elementary school and she's a little witch. Anyways, we are making a character moveset for Ashley. We considered making an Ashley moveset several years ago. What was it? Season 2, Season 3? And then we did Orbulon instead. And now we're just like, okay, it's time for another WarioWare character. Ashley or Mona? Ashley. Okay. Moving on to Ashley then. And we were actually supposed to be doing her...
Orbulon.
What?
What a choice! What a first choice with Orbulon.
It's because we decided to swerve and do something wild. Something that,
Yeah.
like the non-typical choice. And it made an interesting moveset.
It did.
But now we're doing the what many people would consider is the correct WarioWare character to get into Smash after Wario himself, Ashley, who is supposedly, I don't know for sure, but supposedly the most popular of them. I ain't gonna argue with it because I absolutely believe it.
Yeah, it's either her or Young Cricket.
I highly doubt it's Young Cricket.
I'm sorry, I meant Mike.
Would he be more popular than Young Cricket? Probably.
I don't know.
I think so. Granted, I've only really played Twisted and Smooth Moves, which is where Young Cricket was introduced, but I don't remember Young Cricket having like anything interesting. He was just kind of there.
Yep.
Sorry, Young Cricket fans. However
Good
many
guy.
of you there are.
Yeah.
I want 9-volt in Smash. That's my pick. But we need to get into the details
Yes.
and make our moves for this little witch girl who has a little friend named Red, which I appreciate as an appreciator of the color red myself.
Yeah, I wore this for you today.
Is it just red or is there anything on it?
Well, it has this pocket.
So technically nothing on it, but something in it.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, stop that. That's weird.
Yes, we
you
must
audio
jump into the
listeners, by the
details.
way, you audio listeners, you're always it's always such a good thing for you that you don't have to see Jonno's visual antics. I envy you. Anyways,
Yes.
let's finally get going here before we waste too much more time. And let's enter into things with the entrance animation. Jonno, what do you have as Ashley's entrance animation?
Yeah. Okay. Ashley floats in on her broomstick. She lands, but the broom wobbles and she stumbles before regaining her composure and brushing herself off as if nothing happened. Oh, and the broomstick was red, so he turns back into red once they land, and he kind of huffs and puffs before he's ready to go.
So ours are very, very similar. Not shocking. I mean, come on. Mine is Ashley will gently land down onto the stage using her broom. No wobbling on mine. She just gently lands down, and then her broom transforms into her wand, not into red. I have a feeling we might already be seeing a difference in how we've approached part of Ashley's stuff, because red is both her broom and her wand. And I'm kind of getting the feeling that you might have Red be like hanging out, running around with her the whole time, and I do not have him doing that.
Eh, not really. Not like really, really.
Hmm.
It's variable. It is variable indeed.
Okay. I do have him make appearances. Just it goes straight from the broom to the wand form for me.
Got it. As far as well, that this is pretty much a wash. It's like, what do you even do with this?
Yeah. I mean, my only thought on it is that if Red isn't running around with Ashley, then after he comes out of the broom, he has to go back. He has to go away, either disappearing or into the wand. Because if he's not going to be running around with her, why is he there? He has to
Right,
leave at some point.
right. Yeah, I did have him running around with her, but it's also not a big part of the moveset at all. So whatever, you just become the one then.
Well, let's see how the moveset ends up going then.
Okay.
Depending on it, we can shift back and forth.
Okay.
So we'll leave the entrance as variable for now. We'll return to this later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make a note. There we go. All right. So Kirby hat then. The hat, the orange tiara thing. Or did I say hat?
That's
Hair and orange tiara thing.
that sound, and it's what I thought of at first, but then I came up with something else.
Is it going to be like a weird wavy hat thing of red like you suggested for Tingle?
No.
Is it just going to be red
What
sitting
did
a stuffed animal version of red?
that might be better than what I came up with,
Oh
because what I
god.
came up with was this like half cut. It's from Ashley's torso up, and it's Ashley on top of Kirby's head, flopping back and forth like a plush version of herself.
I'm going to use my power of veto to say no. Listen, with the Tinga one, I was so tempted to go with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
With Ashley though, no, stop it.
And when you hit
No.
it comes up with iconic quotes from Ashley.
What? Like I'll kill you?
Yes, like, I'm Ashley, and I hope you find my micro games a total drag. Good luck trying not to embarrass yourself while playing them.
I'm gonna move on and take my Kirby hat.
Yeah.
All right, taunts. Let's talk about taunts now. So, for my first taunt, Ashley will pull out a mandrake and hold it in front of her in a threatening manner. She's just threatening the player. It's like, I've got this, and I know how to use it. Also, to make this make more sense, because I'm realizing that it might not. I need to look up the Mario Wiki briefly. Mandrakes in the Wario games have made a few appearances with Ashley. They kind of look like a little onion man thing.
Ugly garlic thing. Yeah.
Garlic, that's what it was, yeah. And Ashley has like thrown one into a potion before, and it made things be bad. So yeah, she's just holding it. It's like, I have used this as a weapon before. Do not make me do it again.
Yeah. Nice. I forgot that they were a part of WarioWare. That's funny.
They've made multiple appearances with her. They've been in 4 of the games.
Holy moly.
It was
Okay.
originally called Nasty Garlic.
Nasty. Yeah, that's a hell of a nasty garlic.
Oh yeah.
um So, yes, Ashley tries to cast a spell, but instead produces a tiny rain cloud over her head for a second. She folds her arms and grumbles while that grumbly scrumble appears over her head.
Okay. I assume that's like the anime, the
Yeah, that.
yeah,
Yeah, that.
the scribble lines.
Mhm.
The scribble lines of frustration.
Yeah.
For my second taunt, Red will appear next to Ashley, transforming out of her wand, and will do a short little dance routine as Ashley looks on unamused. And I don't know necessarily what the dance routine is, but I kind of feel like it's like that old timey one where it's like the two guy. I don't know how to fucking describe it. But it's basically the dance before people get pulled off from the stage with the cane. Like
Mhm.
they're doing like a little cane dance thingy. That's what I'm picturing. I don't know if it should be that or something else, but he tries to cheer her up. She's just like, no.
Yeah, like Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, let's see. Likewise, Red appears juggling fireballs, but accidentally burns himself and frantically waves his hands around, running around in circles around Ashley while his tail is on fire. Ashley shakes her head and face palms, unimpressed.
Okay. For my last taunt, Ashley will point her wand down at the ground in front of her and cast a spell. All that happens, though, is for a small daisy to sprout out of the ground, causing Ashley to slightly frown before the flower wilts.
Nice. And sad. It's
Yeah.
a little sad.
She's trying to recreate the gigantic plant spell that she did.
Right. My last one is. Hold on a second. Let me look up one quick detail. WarioWare. Okay, there we go. Ashley's pair of pants suddenly begin to inflate to the point of blowing up, popping in her face due to her frustration.
I don't
A
like that.
callback to Pants Giganticus. It's a good thing that it's not actually. A book floats in front of Ashley and the pages flip rapidly. She looks frustrated when the book catches fire, then Red scrambles to put it out.
Okay.
Yep.
Victory poses. My first one, I have Ashley. She's going to she'll twirl her wand in her hands, like a basic just twirl in front of her, and then she'll say, "Careful, or I might hex you next, or I might hex you next time."
Nice. Let's see. Ashley twirls her wand like a baton while a shortened version of her theme song plays, and Red follows behind her while playing a small lute.
Okay. All right. I don't know where the loot came from, but all right. For my second one, Ashley will be relaxing in a chair, reading a book titled "How to Make Friends," as Red keeps her cool by fanning her.
Oh my god. uh, Ashley stirs her cauldron while Red throws in a variety of offbeat ingredients, such as the nasty garlic. Suddenly, the cauldron explodes, leaving both of them covered in soot and staring blankly at the screen.
All right. For my last victory pose, Ashley will fly on her broom through the night sky and look over at the moon. Ashley will cast a hex towards the moon, and when it makes impact, it transforms the moon to look like Red's face. And I don't mean Red's face appears on the moon, I mean the moon becomes shaped like Red's head.
Nice. Ashley stands with her arms outstretched, eyes glowing red as dark energy swirls around her. A callback to her assist trophy from Ultimate. Red nervously peeks out from behind her, in awe that a spell is working.
Real.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are we gonna pick from here? We got some good stuff. We have some. What order I want to use? We have some. We have some stuff. I'll just leave it at that. Uh, how do we feel? How do we feel?
Well, let's see. So you had
I have the
the
Mandrake
Mandrake.
threat. I have Red dancing, and I
Mm-hmm,
have trying to grow a flower for taunts. My victory poses
mm-hmm.
were twirling the wand and saying, "Careful, or I might hex you." Sitting in chair, reading How to Make Friends, while Red fans her, and then flying to the sky and hexing the moon.
Yeah. I don't know because our things are so different from each other this time.
Yeah,
Normally, there's quite a bit of crossover. Um, some of them are more out there, and I like them, but then fucking ridiculous, like the moon, Red's face becoming the moon. Like, oh my gosh, that's very far out there and entertaining. Um, How to Make Friends is also classic. I like all of your victory posts. The quote for the hex one is good. Um, let's see. Perhaps the Mandrake one is the strongest taunt of yours. I think maybe. If only because it calls back to something. Uh, I like the dancing red. The flower wilting is nice. I think it might be the weakest of yours only because it's a separate tone. Like it's more just sad.
yeah. It's that
Um,
that one's definitely my weakest.
yeah. And then as far as mine go, I don't know. They all just kind of capitalize on the whole dynamic of Ashley not being able to catch a spell correctly. um Maybe my favorite thing that I've done is is the marching band one because again it's very off like what the hell is that?
Remind me of that one. I think that's the loot one, right?
Yes, where she twirls her wand like a baton and walks forward while her theme song plays with Red following behind her with a lute or a trumpet or what have you. Okay, so yeah, what are we thinking? Holy moly!
I was trying to think if there's a way that our two one twirlers can be combined, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really can because I don't. I feel like doing the walk forward and saying the quote is just going to take too much time. Especially like they also feel
Right.
like totally they kind of clash.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know there. Um,
Or
what were your? I'm trying to remember what all yours were. I know you had the potion. You had the fire juggling one of the taunts, and then
mm-hmm.
you had the potion explosion victory pose. The bandage
Mm-hmm.
twirl. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the spell that succeeds. What were your other
Mm-hmm.
two? You have two taunts, I think.
The spell book catching on fire and the rain cloud.
Right. My favorite one of your taunts is the rain cloud, easily.
Okay.
The fire juggling one sounded like it might be too long of an animation. I think if that one shows him, pretty much just like he tosses one fireball and then gets hit by it. Because if it's juggling, then one falls. The craziness that's getting really long. Um, Victory pose wise, I liked the callback to the assist. I wasn't liking it at first because it's like, oh, it's just becomes dark and spooky. But the red peeking out from behind her part is what made that one.
Yeah, right.
And the
I
potion is
agree with
also
that.
good. I actually have a. I was thinking about doing things with potions, but I went
Yeah,
other
yeah.
directions.
Oh, you can also your Bugs Bunny dance with Red. That could be you could turn that into a victory pose where they both do it together.
Ashley would absolutely not. There's actually canonical that actually does not join in on the dancing. I don't remember which game it is, but there's one of them where like characters are celebrating that things are going well, and they're in like a club or something, and Ashley is just standing there while everyone else is dancing. It is canonical.
That must have been touched because I remember that happening.
No, I was not touched. It was one of the later ones. It
Sweet
was either
dreams. Oh,
like
really?
yeah, it was
Okay,
like
interesting.
gold or more recent.
Hmm. Um, so she's you in that universe.
I mean,
Yeah, cool. Um, yeah. What did I say was your okay?
uh,
And then
you
oh right,
you said
right,
that the dance was my
yeah.
strongest taunt. I think. Yeah. And then I don't know which one of my victories you said was strongest, but I think my chair
Oh,
one is maybe not the strongest, but it's the most amusing.
what? How to Make Friends, the book.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say How to Make Friends and Red Dancing then are fast tracked, and
Okay.
then what did you say the ultimate ATE callback? That was your favorite of mine. Oh,
Yeah.
let's. What if we fast track that as well as the Brain Cloud?
Yes.
Okay, now there's two more to choose. Um,
Uh,
for for taunts, I would say Nasty Garl, your Mandrake.
yeah, that's definitely the better one over the flower one. I agree. And then the victory
Yeah,
pose is I think it depends. I think in general the
yeah,
twirly one
yeah.
is stronger than the moon one, just because the moon requires like
Hmm.
extra stuff going on. But
Hmm.
that depends on your marching band one, because
Yeah,
I don't think we
yeah.
do both.
Right, right. Yeah, the moon is like the most ridiculous one I think out of it's so fucking like oh my did that happen in a game in micro game or something?
No, I just can't. I was like considering all the weird stuff that happened. I was like,
Yeah,
what would be the same fitting vibe?
yeah,
Hex the moon,
yeah,
and the reason I had it become Red's face is because Red is the wand.
right. Um, yeah, I'm fine with this. I would kind of that way because I'm weird,
You think do the
but
moon?
Well, it may not actually be better than the twirl or the march band or the cauldron, but it's also really funny.
Okay.
I don't know. What are you feeling?
I mean, I'm okay with that. In that case, I would say my twirl one is gone, and we have your marching one. Although less marching, more her just like stalking forwards while Red is tooting a flute or whatever musical instrument he's got on hand.
Yeah.
He
Wait, but that would make
he's
4 victory poses.
how I have two written down. Oh shit.
Yeah, because of yes, because
Oh
we said
shit.
the book, the chair, and then the ultimate AT one were fast tracked. So yeah, that's why I deferred to you because it's like, do we want to go with the moon as like this other ridiculous option, or want to go for something more grounded?
I'm thinking here. Um, it was like I like Red being an absolute goofus while Ashley is walking forwards.
Yeah.
I really want to try and fit the quote in or some kind of quote somewhere. I'm trying to think like where's the best time to do that
Uh,
as it's moving forward.
maybe the hex quote is in the ultimate callback one.
There we go.
There you go. And then we do the march. Okay. There you go.
That'll do
And
it.
at this point, I think the we might as well just say the entrance is red with the wand. I red as the wand rather.
Okay.
I think yeah.
And then we suddenly our third taunt. We've got the red dance, we've got the rain cloud, and then that puts it as either the mandrake or um, the juggling
I would
or your other option.
yeah yeah. I would just say Mandrake.
You sure?
Yeah yeah
Okay.
yeah.
Very simple, short animation.
Yes.
All right. Well, toss of victory poses complete.
Wormy
Ah,
loves this.
what?
What?
What did you say?
I said Wormy loves this.
I mean, I knew it was some inane shit. I just couldn't tell what the fuck you were saying. All right. Well, nope. Moving on. Standard special moveset time. I'm gonna have nightmares. So my standard special is called Red Hex. And this comes from more or less comes from one of the more recent games. I can't remember which one it is. It might be Get It Together. I think it's, or maybe it's Game and Wario, whichever one where
Mhm.
they're like trapped inside of a video game or something. So
I
actually,
think that's Game and Wario. Oh
yeah,
no, let's get it together.
is it
Yeah,
okay?
there you go.
Yeah, from the title, Game and Wario, you would think it'd be that one, but
Right. Yeah, Game and
uh,
Wario is just the bad one.
Game and Wario is just a what?
The bad one.
Okay, is that just the mini game collection one?
Yes.
Okay, that explains it. So for Red Hex, Asher will just kind of lazily swing her wand, and she'll send like a red star-shaped hex flying forwards in a straight line. But by tilting the control stick, you can alter whether Asher sets the hex slightly above or slightly below the normal projectile path. Now, when I say this, I do not mean that you are sending in an arc, it's just going in a different direction from there. I'm saying you either go straight on a medium level, straight on a slightly higher level, or straight on a slightly lower level. This is
Right.
not like properly angled. It's just a little higher, a little lower. That way you can catch characters that are trying to like jump or duck out of it, thinking it's going to be a different spot. It's like, no, it ain't there anymore. Haha, gotcha.
Yeah.
But yes, it's still just a straight, simple horizontal line called Red Hex because it's a hex created by Red.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's like Kamek's hex kind of, but a little more simple, in a way, or or just as simple rather. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
My
yeah.
first version of this was going to be like that it would alternate medium high low medium high low. But I was like, nah,
Mhm.
let's let the player control that.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it stand out. That's interesting, and it's yeah, you're right. I played get it together, and that's how you control her, and that's like her primary attack.
Yep.
Um, yeah, that was that was a really good one. See, I'm like, wow, I should have thought of that. Like that's a really sometimes it really is that simple. Um, because mine is called Hocus Focus, where Ashley meditates on her spell making for a moment before pointing her wand forward and firing out a hex. So it looks like yours, but it operates pretty different.
This sounds like a
The
charge
spell,
shot.
it could be. So the spell cycles in a set order,
Oh.
and it has a different. There are different effects to this order. So it goes from fire to ice to lightning to poison, with each traveling at about the same speed and being about as hard hitting as each other. The spells are differently colored, contained in, this magical orby thing. The animation from get it together. Um, before it expels upon what it hits, bursting into this entanglement of flames, ice, lightning, or a poison cloud. And it affects the your opponents as status effects normally would. There's a small percentage chance that the spell will blow up in Ashley's face, literally damaging her instead. As you charge it, that becomes more likely. Um, so if you spam it, there's a good likelihood that it will eventually misfire. And again, it's chargeable. So hooray!
Query. Fire, lightning, ice, poison cloud. Is this actually is it just like just elementals like spirit effects can like up fire damage, up ice damage, whatever? Or is there actually just like status condition involved in this like poison being able to like apply the poison status, fire that's not really a burn, but that would be more or less the same deal. Ice being able to potentially freeze, ice or lightning potentially
Yes,
paralyzing.
yeah.
Is the okay, there is that. Okay.
There is that, and the nature of it being the more you charge it, of course, the likelier it is you get that effect.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. For my side special, then, I'm going to say the name of this at the end.
Okay.
So, for my side special, Ashley will transform her wand back into its broom form and channel her magic through it, so allowing as it propels her through the air. So, the magic forces the broom to move forwards.
Yeah.
She flies forwards in a straight line, and pressing the second button a special time, or a second special time, pressing the special button a second time will have Ashley move to channel a burst of magic into her broom again as she attempts to get a greater burst of speed and go further. This is not one where you can go tilt left and right to go backwards. It's just straight line, and then you're doing the second burst to go faster. Except, wait a minute, hold on. I said attempts to go faster. Hmm. Hmm. Ashley spells don't always work, do they? Unfortunately for Ashley, her attempt to go faster will cause the spell to backfire, and her momentum will instead stop as the room swings around so that it hits whatever is in front of her. This is similar in nature to Bowser Jr.'s side special, where he has his Koopa Clown car, but instead of where his clown car like will go fall downwards, she just stays horizontal as she flies because she knows she's flying. As for the name of this move, I'm quite proud of this. I'm quite proud of this name. This movie is called Kabroom. This
Wow.
entire Ashley submission, just the word Kabroom is my most proud contribution.
Okay, perfect. Um, wow. So my side special is not that, but that's great. I like that. Um, so it's my side special is just called Red Rampage. Hooray. So Ashley throws her wand forward like a boomerang, travels about as far as Toon Links. If it connects with anything, the wand turns into red.
Hmm.
And Red begins to swipe and stab away at his what he's hit with his pitchfork. He remains pretty persistent, but he can be batted off with a few hits. So he's like a more powerful Pikmin.
Okay.
He can perform a critical hit after a while. So there's a bit of startup lag, so you know when it's coming, and he hits harder with a fire element. So if he performs this critical hit, he will immediately return to Ashley, and ad nauseum, you can repeat this attack.
All right. I like
Yeah.
that actually. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Up special. Fly trap. Sometimes Ashley spells do work. A large flintless flytrap will sprout out of the ground in front of Ashley and carry her up into the air along with it as it wraps one of its leaves around her body. At the height of the plant's growth, the plant will just toss Ashley forwards in a small arc. She was failing to cast this spell in my one of my taunts, and now she succeeded.
Nice.
It grows up pretty high. I don't know how high necessarily it would go, but it'll have to move like pretty quick on its growth, and then it just tosses her.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that. I was
I was
hoping.
desperate not to do the broom here. Like I'm not going to do the fucking broom on the up special if I can avoid it.
That's a good idea. I mean, I was thinking I included the plant. I don't know if we'll see if I landed on something. But in the meantime, my up special is Witch's Flight.
Yeah, I mean it is the
Yeah.
obvious thought.
Yeah. So Red transforms into the broomstick, allowing Ashley to travel in free flight for an allotted amount of time before the spell dissipates. The spell dissipates faster the more throttle you put into her travel. Occasionally, Red will transform into a mop, a plunger, or a vacuum instead of a broomstick, which will affect the stability and control of Ashley's flight.
Okay.
Okay, indeed.
My next one is my weirdest one. And I say weirdest not because the move itself is weird. I mean, I guess it is a little bit, but because technically I'm having to. I'll, let me just get into this. So, this down special is Garumble. Garumble was a demon that actually had to help out once because there's another demon eating all the food and Garumble was starving. So Ashley will open up her spell book as she summons the demon Garumble out of her book. And I'm never going to do it this way because we don't know what Garumble fully looks like. There is, like, he's only been presented basically from, like, neck up, more or less, is all we've really seen of this guy. So I had to invent the presentation. And I had no other good ideas for down special. It's like, fuck it, it's Garumble. And you'll see here even why in my next few words, why I'm kind of whatever here. Because Garumble acts as the counter for Ashley.
Oh.
And if the demon is hit by a melee attack, I've made it a little different, we're getting there. If the demon is hit by a melee attack, he will reach forward, open his large mouth, and eat the fighter, and then chew on them for a few seconds in a cartoonish manner before spitting them back out a fair distance away from Ashley. If I was gonna make a fucking counter, I was gonna make it fucking different. God damn it! No other counter has the character being eaten, and
I
since
wish
it's
more
a
did.
demon that was hungry, there's my idol.
um. Yes, my down special is Transformation Trouble. Ashley attempts to transform an opponent with the wave of her wand, but as we know, her magic is wily and unreliable. So, there's a chance that one of two things will happen. The opponent, or Ashley, is briefly morphed into something at random. It might be Pioro, which removes all attacks except for a tongue attack, or something that temporarily immobilizes them, like turning into a giant pumpkin or a giant Wario nose. There is about a fifth of a chance that this happens to Ashley instead of her intended opponent. Chances of it backfiring depend on how much magic Ashley has used prior to engaging with the spell. So I don't know if I want to keep that actually. That was a holdover from the scale that I forgot to remove. But there's some cooldown to the spell where it can only be used every so often. If it's used during this refractory, Ashley will just grumble and say something like, "Oh, not yet."
Okay.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on it, but we'll get there when we get to the deliberation. Final smash time. Mine is called The Meanest Potion, coming right
Oh,
out of her song. So Ashley will quietly say, "Get him, Red," as Ashley's wand transforms back into Red. Red will run forwards and attack with his pitchfork a short distance away, and whatever fighter he manages to hit, we drag into a cinematic final smash. Ashley will then be seen in front of a large cauldron. Here's where I got to the cauldron part. As she stirs in new ingredients while her opponent is tied up next to the wall. And yes, they are tied up leaning against the wall because it's funny. Ashley will then add these three ingredients to the cauldron, which are Eye of Newt, Grandma's Wig, and Kitten Spit. All three things from Ashley's song. Ashley will then
yeah.
pause, trying to remember what's that last ingredient again? God, I wish I could remember. And then her eyes will slide over to look at Red goofing off in another part of the room. Ashley will grab Red and chuck him into the cauldron. The potion in the cauldron will violently begin to bubble up before it spits up like a geyser and forms into a sentient, creepy creature made up of the potion. The now sentient potion will look at the tied up fighter and growl before slashing at them twice as the camera pans over to Ashley as a small, subtle grin appears on her face and the screams of her opponent are heard off screen. I had multiple renditions of this. I was trying to work it before I landed on this version. At one point, it was going to be kind of similar to Kirby's Cook Final Smash. At one point, I was going to have it be the push was going to result in like a gigantic red appearing, and then he would attack. Uh, but this was the end result.
Nice. Nice.
It's
Yeah.
double meaning because the potion itself becomes mean.
Yeah, yours is the best Final Smash. Mine is similar, but yeah, we'll say that right away. Um, but for the giggles of it all, mine is Cursed Cauldron. Her cauldron appears in front of her as she begins chanting a spell, and a swirling vortex in the cauldron sucks in nearby fighters. A cinematic plays where Ashley and Red are frantically mixing in ingredients, as you said, the ones from the song, into the cauldron, while the trapped opponents look onward, worried. I do have them tied up, like to the sides of the cauldron.
Oh,
Um,
tied to the cauldron.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. The potion
that'd be
eventually
hot.
erupts. Yes, it would. The potion eventually erupts, showing the victims appearing from the cloud of the eruption cloud, showing the victims comically cursed, where they might have giant hands, or they might have swapped heads, or even have been turned into chickens or frogs before the cinematic ends, and they're sent flying away. There you
Terrifying.
go. Yes.
Terrifying.
Yes. Oh, truly. Yes.
All right. Extra skill time, and then we get to debate things. So, a quick question for you, Jonno. The spirit train stage, normally, Toon Link is driving the train, but if he's in the battle, Alonso
Yeah.
says,
Leave it to me.
all right, so this extra skill is called Leave It to Red.
Oh.
Ashley will transform her wand back into Red and leave him where she is standing. Red will stay in that spot and attack any other thing that gets near him with its pitchfork for small damage and knockback. While Red is deployed, Ashley will be unable to use her side special Kabroom. Additionally, Ashley's standard special Red Hex will deal less damage and fire a smaller projectile, since the one she normally uses for that attack is actually Red transformed into a wand. Now, if you're wondering, wait, how does she even have a wand without Red? Again, in Get It Together, Ashley has her wand doing that spell before you even rescue Red. So she has to have another wand. We don't know if
Yeah.
she has another broom, so I'm just gonna say. So even if I would think like even if she is allowed to use Kabroom, it'd be like less effective.
Yeah.
Um, Attempting to use this extra skill a second time will have Red warp back to Ashley's side and immediately transform back into her wand. Additionally, Red will automatically return to Ashley's side after 7 seconds have passed, or she gets KO'd.
Nice. Okay. Well.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know what my extra skill is called, don't you?
Leave it to Red?
No. That's called the Red Guardian.
We fucking... Alright.
Yes, so Ashley with whatever, the snap of her fingers or something, has her wand transform into Red. Back into Red. And once he's on the battlefield, Red just kind of wanders around in place in the general area, to and fro, until an enemy draws near. And when they do, he attacks. He leaps forth with his pitchfork and fireballs and his tail whipping around, and does like chip damages, like quick, flinch heavy, like small time damage that can
Minor damage.
pierce shields. Yeah, like, yes, it pierces shields over time, etc., with his spiky accoutrements. So also, if an item spawns nearby, Red might snatch it up and bring it back to Ashley. So if an enemy tries to intercept, Red drops the item and turns hostile again and attacks them. During this, so Red sticks around for roughly 10 seconds. 7 also works. So all that to say, eventually he returns to Ashley as her wand, and I do think that I didn't write this down, but it makes sense that moves that use Red's wand would be a little less hard hitting, or moves that use Red in the move you can't use them.
Right.
That makes sense to me.
Boy,
Trying to summon Red too soon after using this extra skill, like let's say there's a period of time where you can't use it again,
a cooldown.
Ashley will be like, "Ugh, he's on break again," before gets it. Yeah, so there you go.
We both thought we were so clever with this one. We thought we were going to be unique.
Yeah.
And it turns out this is the one... Well, I guess not like the one thing, because the Final Smash as well. Like, this one, we were just like, yeah, we both got super similar with. It's like, god damn it. Everything else works or looks a little bit different. This one's just the same shit. It's like, this is not the one I thought we would double on.
You know where I got my idea from?
I don't.
Well, I thought I was being cheeky with the name because of Marvel, but the move I just adapted Big Bobby, the diver's extra skill.
I wasn't doing that. I was just like, hey, let's plant the little guy.
Yeah. I almost opted for it to be the plant. Then I was like, no.
Red's better. Red's better than the plant.
Yeah. The plant also almost became the Final Smash. And I was like, almost seems too obvious.
Yeah, I think like when I was first writing down possibilities, I had like plant as like possible Final Smash, but then plant got moved to up special, and I was like, all right, so potion. It was potion or giant red. It's like,
Yeah.
I was having trouble like picturing how giant red would look and work, because it would have been a non-cinematic in with my original giant red concept. I was like, let's go potion, because I don't know how
Just
one
becomes
to
the
work.
Baby Bowser fight from Yoshi's Island.
It would have been more like he just walks forward and just runs into things.
Oh, the Bashful fight from Yoshi's Island.
The what?
Bert the Bashful.
Oh, no, more Hookbill. More Hookbill.
Yes.
Bert jumps around. That's your Cloud and Candy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Who gets... Well, he doesn't get smaller. His pants get smaller. Problematic, if you think about it. Saying. All right,
Yeah.
let's figure out these moves.
Oh boy.
You kind of already indicated that it's going to be my final smash over yours.
Oh, definitely. I mean that was bursting with a creative notion.
It's funny.
Yeah.
With some characters, I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do a weird, funny final smash for Shadow the Hedgehog. He's going to have like a serious thing. Big Man
Right.
can be funny. We didn't go funny with Big Man. But Tiki can be amusing. Ashley can be serious or funny, really. But considering how much things tend to go wrong with her, it felt better to go funny while
Hmm.
also having things go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
As for the
Yeah, it was no, nothing. It was fun to make.
yeah. As for the rest, our extra skills are both very similar.
Hmm.
So I figure we might as well talk about that next.
Yeah. What was yours called again? Leave it to me.
Leave it to Red, but it
Leave
was
it to
based. It was
Red. Okay.
absolutely based on the Leave It to Me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also pretty funny. I don't even know like what even is the difference between these moves?
I think the biggest difference is the fact that you have it where he can pick up an item and run back to Ashley, whereas I don't have that, and I kind of
Yeah.
feel like doing that could mess with how the player wants to use Red. Like if they want him specifically to guard a location, and then it's just like an item happens to randomly spawn there, and now he brings it back there and be like, "No, Red, I wanted you to stay there." And then the only other
Yeah.
difference is just like
Yeah.
how he attacks. Like I haven't. I only mentioned stabbing with the pitchfork. Whereas
Yeah.
you also mention other little attack animations he can do, which is totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think those are the only
I'm fine
differences.
with yeah, I'm fine with nixing the item spawn thing. That made sense for Big Bobby because he's a big penguin who brings you items in Endless Ocean.
Mm.
Um, but here, yeah, I'm fine with nixing that. And then it just is other attack animations. Sure, sounds like we agree on that.
Yep.
The name, leave it to Red. I feel like that's more WarioWare esque.
I do like the Red Guardian reference, but
Well, he might show up in other ways on the Smashtopia wiki. Who knows?
just wait until the wait. When is that movie releasing before this episode goes up? I don't know time. Time
Yes, it
time is
is.
bad. Oh,
Yes, it is.
we haven't seen it
Actually,
yet because
yeah,
we're time is a weird soup.
yep. It's releasing quite a bit before
Oh shit! When's it releasing?
the 2nd of May.
What is today? Oh,
Yeah,
pretty soon.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Back to Ashley. Yeah. Words. So the other moves here we had like for my moves we had Red Hex, we had Kabroom, Fly Trap, and Garumble. You had I don't remember the names of things, but like a different form of the spell that can have the
Hmm.
effects. Your side special. I'm
That was the
blank.
one where Red is Pikminified.
Ah, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then you had the flight, and then you had the transformation mishaps.
right. What was your question about the transformation move?
Oh, you only have two possible transformations mentioned. Are these like you only imagining these two, or are these just examples? And then either you have more written down, or
Oh
you would
no,
have more written down.
there would be more written down.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Well, so like if
right
it was
now
just
it's
those
yeah,
two, I would be feeling kind of me.
yeah,
But if
yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
like a good cycle of things, then I like it.
I could think I yeah. I mean, it would be in post, but I could come up with like up to 10 at least.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now it's just Pioro or like a pumpkin or a nose.
Yeah, and it can even
Yeah.
be things just like effects like a poison mushroom effect, or
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
uh
That's true.
I have to think about things like can the pumpkin like they cannot move, can they be
Mhm.
hurt in the pumpkin form?
Yes.
Okay, because also think like how for the hero one of their spells that can be cast is Keklang. No, wait, is it Keklang? I think it's Keklang, where they become metal, and when they're in their metal
Mhm.
form, they cannot move and they cannot be damaged.
Right.
So I
Right.
wonder if
Right.
maybe that's also a possibility or not. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like too
Yeah. Yeah.
similar
Yeah.
to pumpkin form.
Could
Um,
make that like like Kung Clang. Okay.
yeah. I like of the other one that you mentioned where you listed possible different transformations. I like Wario's nose the best. Honestly, I think that's the funniest. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm imagining. I don't think there wouldn't be legs, but like they would still be like kind of move around. Basically, like the nose is
Yeah.
bouncing,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah. Yeah.
if they have a jump, it's a really shit jump.
Yep.
I don't know
Use your
offhand what other transformations could be. Pioro's a good one. I think Pioro they'd have an attack. They'd have the beak.
Yeah, the tongue.
Yeah.
hmm Up special with the nose could be blowing it,
What?
or rather sneezing.
Oh, you're thinking they have special moves? I thought they wouldn't.
No, not really. No, not really. Poorly
Oh,
executed joke.
yeah.
Frog.
Is that too similar to the nose in terms of functionality?
Good question. I would look into the lexicon of like character, like side characters or menial characters from WarioWare, and kind of
A
go from there.
mandrake.
Yeah,
Turn
the
into the
Mandrake Frog.
mandrake. They don't have an attack, but they can run really fast. Kind of like somebody that just has the bunny hood.
hmm There you
And
go.
then and the nose has the weird forward jumping walking animation, but then it does have one attack, which is to sneeze. Slight damage, but it's a
Right,
pushback.
right, right. Apparently, there's all sorts of freaking zoo animals. WarioWare? Like, oh, I guess some like elephants, beavers. Okay, they pull from there.
Or there's a lot of weird random stuff in where the pigs, uh
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
there's
that's right.
the little aliens from Smooth Moves that are in charge of the balance
Yeah,
stone.
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so there's definitely if we're talking about potential, there's definitely potential there.
Yeah.
We just came up with like 4 to 5 different things, so
Yep.
maybe double that, and there you go.
Yeah, I'll say like we can figure out the rest of those off show. Obviously, this is the down
Yeah,
special,
right.
over Garumble. Uh,
The Garumble could be one of them.
except that he doesn't have a full body, is the problem. We've
hmm
literally only seen him depicted in across all media forms, official art and everything. We've literally only seen him from like neck up. So that's why I had him appearing out of the spell book. The only way I could
Oh, I
make
see.
it work. Yeah. They could turn into Humgree though, which is the Dark Lord demon from that game, which
Yeah.
might be weird. I don't know what he would do. I mean, who knows? We'll figure it
Oh,
out
that.
off show. Like you'll come up with things, then I'll probably respond to them. Be like, here's my
Yeah,
thoughts
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Yes, and I can do that sooner than later.
Yeah,
Little hammies. That's what the pigs are called.
yes, it is. All right, so we have that one. What are we gonna do for the other ones? I really like Cabroom. I really like Cabroom. I like the red one.
hmm
Ooh, ooh.
What?
I have a thought. What if both of them. Red Toss is the side special. Kabroom is the up. And instead of just always being horizontal, it's an omnidirectional, not free flight. It's an omnidirectional, but you still keep the Kabroom backlash.
Yeah, I like that.
Because
Yeah,
there's
good.
no move up special wise that does that kind of emotion either.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, that's a good
The
call.
the
I like
closest
that
one
a
is
lot.
again Bowser Jr.'s up special, where
Yeah,
he causes the explosion.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So that gets rid of Fly Trap and the free flight one. And now we are just at the standard special. I forget the name of it. Your Hex versus Red Hex.
I think yours is the more functional. Like mine has more to it, but that's not always the best move, like from a gameplay perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think yours is succinct and simple, and that works for how the rest of the character has been designed. So let's just go with it.
Okay. And then when Red is in Guardian mode, we'll call it, Red Hex is weaker, Kabroom is weaker. The side special cannot be used because
Yeah,
he's not there.
yeah,
The down special can still be used. Okay. This
yeah,
all works, I think.
yeah. Yes, it does.
All right.
Well,
Smooth episode. Not too bad.
smooth moves.
I was trying to think what's the more recent one called to attach that, but I couldn't remember its name. Damn it.
Good question. WarioWare move it? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, move it. It's smooth moves too. Let's be real. That's what it
Hmm.
is. Unique traits. I give it actually an extra jump. She basically can boost herself a small bit into the air with her broom.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't write anything down, but let's do that.
All right. Alternate costumes, different recolors. Her color palette is very simple. It's red and orange, and then the skull is
Yeah,
yellow. Not much to go
yeah.
for there besides just like yeah colors.
Right. Yeah, I had a couple of unique color ideas, like oh, you can make one based on like more like gothic stuff, like a black and purple outfit, or do some weird antecedent where it's really pastel, but
I think she
they're all still just
has one
colors.
like that.
Interesting.
I feel like I've seen art of her like that. Let me. Okay, Nintendo Badger Arcade has her in like a blue shop employee like looking outfit.
What the
Uh,
hell?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And
seeing
then Badger
that,
Arcade, there's also a purple and pink.
there's one where she's Link. What the hell?
Nintendo
Well,
Badger Arcade,
okay
man.
then.
Also,
Yeah,
I don't see this Link one.
I'll show it to you. Put it in our chat.
Okay, yeah, that must be one of the badges.
Yeah.
Yep, there's the image for it. There it is. There's also like when she's like in sleepover clothes, a detective looking outfit, uh, a hiking outfit, I think.
What?
It's if you're looking
She's
at her
Santa?
gallery set, it's the row below the link. No, not Santa. I said hiking.
No, there's a Santa one too. That's what I was saying.
Where's the Santa one?
It's around
Oh,
there.
I see it now. I see it now. It's
Yeah,
next to
yeah.
the two purple ones. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think I'll go like specifically copying any particular like full color palette or something like this because her outfit is just simple, but like you know purple and pink to reference or uh Mike is a cyan robot, so cyan and other blues to represent Mike, or not Jimmy T. Krygor has a yellow jumpsuit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yellow all that kind of represents him that way. That's the only real position
Right.
I was going to go
Right.
with it.
That sounds good. And then I'll, as usual, I'll send you my costume ideas, and we'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of conglomerate.
Yep. All right, last detail: the home stage,
Yeah.
Ashley's mansion. Right?
Was she the girl next door living in the haunted mansion?
I think so. Sounds right.
Oh, well, yeah, it makes sense to me. Let's do
Okay, cool. And I
it.
oh wait, let me double check something. Okay, good. I had to make sure. I had to see if I had talked about this one in the 100 new stages for Smash Project or not, because I had actually mentioned the one of my pitches in the third post
Nice.
for that. So I already have a concept there. Haha.
Balingo.
Yep. Whatever that means.
What if that were my new catchphrase for the rest of the season?
Why?
Why anything, man?
Yeah, that's what I ask about with you all the time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that pans out.
I hope we don't. So that does it for Ashley. Nice, easy, simple character.
Simpler than I thought. I'm not complaining about it. That was pleasant.
Yeah. We always go into this movie like, man, God, this could be hell. We might have like a lot of hard discussions. And I feel like early on it was really difficult, early seasons. But the last few seasons, I feel like overall we've had a lot easier of a time getting things moving and agreeing.
Perhaps we've just subconsciously just kind of adapted to it.
Yeah. I mean, the
Which I
taunts and
think is
addiction
what happened.
puzzles used
Yeah.
to take fucking forever. And now it's no
Yeah.
time at all.
Thank goodness. That used to actually stress me out. Like,
Yeah.
before the episode, I would kind of loathe having to record these.
Well, hopefully you don't anymore. Oh dear, silence.
Most days. Most days.
Well, that is it for Ashley here. Smashtopia is done. Next time is going to be a smash or dash. Here's the fun thing, guys. Last season we did a new thing. We had random characters in a special, so we didn't even know who we'd be talking about until the episode started, and we did that random wheel spin. Well, we're crazy enough to do it again. So I don't even know who's going to be in the next episode. I know the bank of options, but I don't know who we'll actually be talking about. Which means I haven't even made a thumbnail for that episode yet. I get to make that afterwards.
Well, well, shucky ducky now.
Hmm.
Or should I say Balingo time?
And on that note, goodbye.